What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Crown Racing video. Today we're going to be reassembling my 351 for my 03 New Edge Mustang. As you guys know, my 03 Mustang is engine swapped and has a 351 Windsor in it, so here it is. Unfortunately, last drift season I blew it up, so that is why we're going through and rebuilding it now. Not gonna lie, this is my fourth time rebuilding specifically my 351s. So this time around I got a custom grind camshaft from Comp Cams, and as you can see I already threw that in the block, so the rest of this is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to go through and assemble the engine. Something worth mentioning, most of you guys watching this video are not subscribed to our channel. We would really appreciate it. It helps us out if you could take a second and go subscribe. Also, we just dropped our new merch drop, so don't forget to go to our website and check out the new merch line, crownracingco.com. Thanks guys, we appreciate it. With that said, let's get started with this video. Okay, so we got everything we need to install our camshaft all nice and clean. This is the cam bolt torque spec, 45 foot-pounds. And then for the bolts that hold on this thrust plate, torque spec is 10 foot-pounds. And then the bolts that hold on this bridge that keep these dog bones go around the lifters, those are also 10 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and lube the actual cam bearings themselves with engine oil. When I go to put the cam in the block, I like to do it with the block upside down. That way I can see what I'm doing, sneaking the cam journal through all the different bearings and making sure that I'm in line. So I have the camshaft installed. I have the backing plate installed. And now I have the cam and crank timing sprockets along with the chain installed. The trick to this is you'll put them together, put the chain around both gears, and slide them together on the crank snout. So you see I have cylinder 1 at TDC on compression. I know it's on compression because I can see my intake and exhaust lobes in here, and they're both on their base circles or starting their lobes. So I know I'm in overlap. So I know I'm in TDC compression for cylinder 1. And then I make sure these dots line up here to here. So time to put the lifters in. So these are hydraulic roller lifters. I'll just put them in a little bit of oil and let them sit for a couple nights to bleed the air out of them. These lifter bores compared to the lifter you happen to grab can be really tight. So what you should do is take your lifters out, and when you go to drop it in, make sure that you can move it up and down freely with your hand. If you can, put it in that lifter bore. If it feels like it's snagging or getting hung up, try and put that lifter in other bores and see if you can find one that fits better. I got all the lifters in and they're all fitting really good. One thing I did forget to mention earlier, so I will show you, is you see these lifters. This little hole right here is how oil gets into the lifter and pressurizes the lifter. So as you can see, there's machine surface all the way around. So you could either put this hole at 12 o'clock or you could put it at 6 o'clock. In my case, I've always put it at 6 o'clock, so that's what we're going to do for this engine build as well. Hi everybody.
Very nice, sir. Well done. Well done.
This is my least favorite part of engine building.
It's just so tedious, and you have some oily hands too, so it's hard.
If you guys are wondering what I'm doing with the hammer after this, you tap it to seat the keepers against the valve.
He made that second one look pretty easy, but the first one took him at least 15 minutes. No, it was like 15, bro. You were sitting there working for a while.
Sometimes they go quick, sometimes they don't. just in case you guys are wondering, for small block Fords, the front water passages get covered up. That way it forces all the water to go through the block and come out the backside instead of just going straight into the intake and back out to the radiator. So I got the surface all clean. I have my dowels. Cool. Torqued to spec. Next I'm gonna install the rocker arms, and then we'll preload the lifters. Cool.
What are you doing now?
I'm gonna be checking my push rod length. So you paint the top of the valve with a permanent marker. And then when I preload my lifters and all that, I'll rotate the engine around, and then we'll take the rockers back off, and we'll see where the ball was rolling on the valve to make sure I have the right
Push rod length.
I don't remember what the torque is either.
We'll get your little small block Ford book. Here you go, buddy.
It doesn't have this torque spec in it.
Oh, man.
So after I put all the rocker arms on, I realized that when I do preload, you have to go one by one. So I took all the rocker arms off again. And the reason why is because I don't want to compress my hydraulic lifter before I get to it and set preload. So I just remembered they have to go one by one. So I just did the preload for these rocker arms and I spun it over. So now we're gonna check the permanent marker spot to make sure that my push rod length is correct. So you see where the mark is? So it looks like these are just a touch high on center, which is perfect.
Alrighty guys, we're making some progress. Marcus got all of the rocker arms on, so he's gonna do a final torque to make sure they're torqued to spec. And then we're almost done with the valve train. We can put the valve covers on after this, intake manifold, and then we can go down to the bottom and do the oil pump and the oil pickup. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of parts on the table. I feel like we've been doing this for a minute and there's still a ton of stuff to do.
You'll get that on these big jobs.
You'll get that on these big jobs, you're right. All right, Mark made the executive decision to do the oil pan.
Because the timing cover seals to the oil pan, so I want to do that thing.
All right. Whoa, dude, you okay?
The bolt hits, you gotta like jog it.
Told you we should have finished the top.
Steven, put down the camera and help me. Come on, help me.
Marcus doesn't know what a budget is. Let me put that out there.
No.
Marcus got a super nice Ford Racing baffled oil pan in the endeavor to help oil starvation while drifting the banks.
You see the baffles in there?
Hold on, let me get my nice handy dandy flashlight.
It's got baffles and trap doors.
That's hot. So that'll hopefully help your bearings when you're screaming at redline on a bank like at Auto City.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, nice pan.
Now, after I get this oil pump on, can I have you hold it? Because I'll need to Loctite the bolts that I'm about to put on.
Let's do it. All right, just like that, oil pump is going on. Progress. That pan looks so much bigger than your last one. So it increases your oil volume too, right?
Yeah, it's 7 quarts instead of 5 quarts.
Yeah, that's big. So we're putting the harmonic balancer onto the front of the crank. All right, so now that we got the water pump on and the harmonic balancer, we finally made it to the point where we can put the intake manifold on and the valve covers. So we're getting really close to wrapping up here. Yes.
Alright, so we're done building our 351. That wasn't too bad. You think that took us maybe like 5 hours, 6 hours total?
About that, yep.
About 6 hours total. So you guys know the deal. If you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in the video. Also, don't forget to check out our new merch drop at crownracingco.com. And finally, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Crown Racing Co. And with that said, the next video we're going to be doing is throwing this back in the Mustang. So check that out and wait for that video to get posted in the next week or so. Thank you guys for all the support. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.